The sky darkens. A roar spreads across the earth. Dust storms, running, terror. This is not a fairy tale. This is the real world. Where the giants of nature ruled for billions of years. They were dinosaurs. Where did they come from? How did they rule the earth? And why did they disappear from the earth one day? In today's episode, we will go back to the time when humans did not even exist. There was only a completely different world, the world of dinosaurs. Time, about 230 million years ago from today. At that time, there were no countries on Earth, no sea borders, no continental boundaries. Everything was one huge supercontinent. Its name is Pangaea. This Pangaea was rough, hot, dry. The oxygen in the air was not 21% like today, much less. There was not much forest, but rather the struggle for life was in the desert and rocky terrain. At that time, various types of reptiles, amphibians, and small mammals lived on the earth. But some of them had such advanced bodies, breathing systems, and limb systems that they would become the rulers of the world in the future. These are the early dinosaurs. Scientists believe that one of the first dinosaurs was Eoraptor. It was only 1 meter long. It hunted small insects and small animals and was very fast. However, Eoraptor is not at all the giant monsters that we imagine today when we hear the word dinosaur. The interesting thing is, the age of dinosaurs did not begin with giants. But with small animals. Then came another species, Herrerasaurus. They were one of the earliest predators. Their teeth were sharp as knives, and their bodies were very athletic. This early generation of dinosaurs paved the way for the birth of future giants. Towards the end of the Triassic Period, a series of huge natural disasters occurred on Earth. Huge volcanic eruptions, lava spread over thousands of kilometers, ash, sulfur dioxide, and carbon dioxide spread into the air. Extreme climate changes, suddenly very hot, then suddenly cold. The animal world could not tolerate such changes. Food crisis, drying rivers, deforestation, all of which gradually led to the extinction of animals. About 75% of the world's animal species became extinct in this great catastrophe. But those who survived were dinosaurs. As if nature said, "From now on, the world is yours." Thus began the Jurassic Period. The Jurassic Period began about 201 million years ago from today. At this time, the weather is warm, humid, and biodiversity increases greatly. Trees, giant ferns, coniferous forests, the world is now green. It is in this environment that dinosaurs begin to show their true power. Dinosaurs spread in 3 parts. 1 on land, the most dominant. 2 in the sky, pterosaurs. 3 in the water, marine reptiles. Now we see the story of those huge land-born giants. You are walking in a forest. The ground is shaking. Leaves are falling. Suddenly you look up. The sky is covered in shadow. That shadow is not a cloud, it is Brachiosaurus. 25 meters long, 12 to 13 meters high, weighing 30 to 40 tons. Their heart was almost the size of a small automobile. Their hearts had to work harder each time just to pump blood to their heads. Apatosaurus or Brontosaurus. These animals were even longer, up to 80 feet. A whip-like blow from their tail was capable of throwing enemies away. Diplodocus, one of the longest land animals on Earth. Their tails could create a blast of sound like a sonic boom. These huge animals walked in groups. Mothers would also walk around their young, forming a circle around them so that predators could not attack. Just imagine this scene. The world was completely different. During the age of dinosaurs, a new master was born not only on land, but also in the sky. Pterosaurs were the first large flying animals in history. Small species, crow-like in size, eating insects was the main job. Large species, wingspan up to 12 meters. Name, Quetzalcoatlus. Weight, 200 to 250 kilograms. Height, the same as a giraffe. They hunted fish, small dinosaurs, and even collected food from dead animals. They were the absolute kings of the sky. Dinosaurs hid in their shadows in fear. Just as herbivores were strong, so were predators. Allosaurus, one of the top predators of the Jurassic period. They hunted in groups, attacking together, pulling together. Their coordination was very strong. Ceratosaurus, a horn-like bone structure on the face, which was used to intimidate prey. Raptor family. Velociraptor. Although they were small in size, they were extraordinarily intelligent. The brain structure in the head was relatively large. The body was light, the running was fast, the paws were sharp. They attacked in groups. One group would chase in front, the other would attack from behind. Together, these three species completely controlled the food chain of the Jurassic period. Why were dinosaurs the most successful animals in the history of the world? Because they had some strengths that other animals did not have. Body structure and anatomy. Their legs were straight downwards, which was energy efficient like modern mammals. The lungs, like modern birds. They had one-way air circulation, so the oxygen absorption efficiency was excellent. Light, airy bones. They kept the body small despite being large. Different dietary habits. Herbivores, fruit eaters, predators, omnivores. All kinds of species were among them. Warm-blooded or semi-warm-blooded characteristics. They could adapt quickly to cold and heat. All these together made dinosaurs the top animals on Earth. Towards the end of the Jurassic period, the continents gradually started to separate. Oceans formed, new forests were formed. One region became hotter, another region became colder. This change gave rise to more new species. Now, a new era will begin. The Cretaceous period, where more exciting creatures await.
And the world is coming face to face with a great enemy, the T-Rex. Human history is thousands of years old, but the history of dinosaurs, 160 million years old. They ruled the world in a way that no other animal has ever done. Every forest, every field, every valley on earth was theirs. Their roar was like thunder. The ground shook with their footsteps. The light of the world was covered by their shadow. Their story is that chapter of the world which is the greatest drama of time, nature, and evolution. The green world of the Jurassic era is slowly becoming full of life. While on one side of the world, Brachiosaurus is calmly eating leaves from the tops of trees. On the other side, a terrible predator, Allosaurus, is moving silently like a shadow. The world seemed to be divided into two parts. On one side, the giant symbolized peace. On the other, the giant symbolized destruction. Not only was species diversity increasing during the Jurassic period, their behavior, their social customs, even their hunting techniques, all were rapidly evolving. It was during this period that dinosaurs clearly divided into distinct families: sauropods, long-necked giants; Brachiosaurus; Diplodocus; Apatosaurus. These were the largest land animals that ever lived on Earth. Their huge size was not an attack. It was a survival strategy. Bigger size meant fewer enemies, less risk. But as big as the advantages of being big, there were even more problems. A Brachiosaurus needed up to 500 kilograms of food a day to survive. If you go to the wrong place, food will be scarce, and survival will be difficult. In the middle of the Jurassic period, Allosaurus proved that intelligence and the ability to hunt in groups can surpass size. Their eyes were eager to catch prey. Their brain had the ability to make quick decisions. They knew that it was impossible to catch a large dinosaur in a single attack. So they worked in groups, as if each was a well-planned military strategy. Meanwhile, a new competition began in the sky. The world's first true flying creatures, the pterosaurs, were slowly taking over the skies. They were not dinosaurs, but their ability to fly radically changed the world's food chain. Surveillance from the sky, observation of the seashore made the fight between predators more complicated. The list of predators of the Jurassic is incomplete without them, the Dilophosaurus. Slender, fast, silent. Some scientists even think that they could have formed groups. Despite their small size, they were incredibly fast. Their speed in the dense forests of the Jurassic period was beyond imagination. At one time, sauropods created their own separate kingdoms on almost every continent of the world. Their footprints changed the structure of the forest, the course of the rivers, and even the history of the Earth's ecology. Every baby sauropod knew this world is not easy for them. From the moment they were born, they had enemies in the sky, water, and land. But even then, their numbers kept increasing. The world became more unstable at the end of the Jurassic. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and eruptions, all of them brought about huge changes in the environment. These changes, on one hand, destroyed many species. On the other, They gave birth to new ones. There is only one law of nature: those who can adapt survive. As the Jurassic entered the Cretaceous, the claimants to the throne of the Earth became stronger. At this time, the first ancestors of the T-Rex were born, small but highly intelligent predators. These were the future kings, but no one understood at that time the most fearsome predator on Earth was only a few million years away. There was also fierce competition in the sea. The ichthyosaurs were the champions in fast running. The plesiosaurs struck from afar with their long necks, and the mosasaurs, the ultimate king of the sea. No matter how big, the sea was more dangerous. There was only one rule: catch or be caught. When the Archaeopteryx first flapped its wings at the end of the Jurassic, no one thought that this small creature would one day rule the skies of the Earth, and its legacy would remain in every human home. Yes, the birds that are seen in people's homes are direct descendants of dinosaurs. The entire world was a living jewel that time. Dinosaurs had reached their peak in size, behavior, and diversity. The forests, deserts, and mountains of the world were their stage. But the world never stands still. Every empire has its rise and its fall. No one knew about the dinosaurs. A body was rushing across the sky, tens of billions of kilometers away. No one in the world noticed. No warning sounded anywhere in the air, on the ground, or in the sea. But the universe was moving forward according to its own laws. A giant stone, the weight of a mountain range. Its speed was 1,000 times faster than sound. Its power could not be measured by all the weapons of man combined. It was coming, tearing through the earth. Dinosaurs were having the best time of their lives. Deep in the forest, a family of Triceratops was looking for food. Pterosaurs were hunting fish in the tropical jungle. Even the giant T-Rex was looking for prey. It didn't notice anything. Nature never warns. Who will live, who will not? There is no explanation for its decisions. But something strange was slowly appearing, but no animal could understand it. A kind of unusual light streak in the sky. Birds, the legacy of dinosaurs, began to flap their wings in discomfort. The huge creatures of the sea retreated into the depths. And then the moment happened. 66 million years ago, a terrible morning. A second sun rose in the sky, and in a few seconds, the fate of the world changed. When the asteroid hit Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, the force was equivalent to 10 billion Hiroshima bombs. The Earth shook. The impact site was directly vaporized. The Triceratops forest was filled with fire in a matter of seconds. The distant mountains also shook. The sea creatures were thrown into chaos by the intense shaking. The world changed in a second. After the asteroid hit, the sky of the Earth was filled with burning fragments. The food chain was overturned. Burned trees, burned forests, burned animals. A huge firestorm spread. Those who did not die from the impact, many of them died in the fire. Even the ground turned red. The shockwave began to circle the Earth and hit. Tectonic plates shifted, tsunami hundreds of meters high, and crashed onto the shore. But the most terrible death was that, what no one could ever have imagined. The asteroid hit. Millions of tons of dust, smoke, and sulfur rose into the sky, blocking the light of the sun. The world plunged into darkness, months after months, years after years. The plants died, photosynthesis stopped. No grass, no leaves. The herbivores died first. Then the carnivores followed. The world that had been ruled by dinosaurs for millions of years, in just a few years, they were virtually extinct. The huge T-Rex, the indomitable Triceratops, the giant sauropods,
all disappeared. But nature never destroys completely. In the midst of destruction, new life is born secretly. And at that time, the future of the world was saved. Some very small, simple creatures. The small mammals that lived in the shadow of the dinosaurs. They survived in the dark world because they had few needs. They dug for food. Gradually they grew, changed, and from them were born primates, monkeys, apes. And after many millions of years, humans. Many people think the dinosaurs are extinct, but the truth is, the blood of dinosaurs still lives on today. They fly around us in the form of what we call birds. Yes, every bird that flies the skies of the earth is the living legacy of dinosaurs. The rise of dinosaurs was glorious. Their reign was extraordinary. Their fall was horrific. But their story still stirs the imagination of mankind. They are not extinct. They are history, and history never dies.